Hello, we're going to talk about solutions to inequalities today. Let's think about the solutions to inequalities. Here are our goals today. We've got several goals. One is to determine a particular number is a solution to an inequality. I can explain what it means for a number to be a solution to inequality, and I can graph the solutions to an inequality on a number line. We're also going to look at explaining what the solution to an inequality means in a situation, and we're going to be able to write inequalities that involve more than one variable. Unknowns on a number line. So here is a number line. The number shows several points, each labeled with a letter. And there are multiple correct answers. So fill in the blank. So pause this video right now and fill in your blanks with a letter so that each inequality statements are true. And you want to think greater than, less than. Okay, so if you want to fill in the blanks, this first one, letter A, we have a number that is greater than another. I mean a number, I'm talking about a letter here because there are no numbers. So let's fill in letters like F. F is greater than A. F is greater than B. F is greater than C and D. F is the greatest one on this because it's to the most right. Okay, the second inequality statement, we're looking for a letter that is less. So if we look at our smallest letter here, it'll be A, and A is less than B. A is less than C, A is less than D, A is the smallest letter up there. So there's many, many answers that you could have as long as the letter is to the right of the second letter. Jada says she found 3 different ways to complete the first question correctly. Do you think it's possible? And the answer is yes. Yes, we do think it's possible because there's several answers that we can choose from. List a possible value for each letter on the number line based on its location. So if we look at those letters on the number line, A is very far from 0 and F is far from 0. They're not equally apart, but we can put them on the number line so that we can put some values to them. So let's put some values to them. So we could have like A is -10 and B is -5. C is -2, D is 0, it's labeled for us. And if we look, we can probably see that B and E, they are the same distance from 0. So let's go ahead and put E as 5 and F maybe is not quite as far as A. They're not equal distance, but something that's bigger than 5, so maybe 8. So there's our values. Amusement park rides. Solution to inequality. Write this in your notebook. So pause the video, write this down in your notebook. A solution to inequality is a number that can be used in place of the variable to make the inequality true. It's got to be a true statement. For example, 5 is a solution to the inequality. C is less than 10 because it's true. 5 is less than 10. Some other solutions to this inequality are 9 and 9/10. 0 and -4. Any number that is less than 10 will be a solution because they're true. Okay, so here on the amusement park rides, Priya finds these height requirements for some of the rides at the amusement park. To ride the high bounce, you must be between 55 and 72 inches tall. The Climathon is under 60 inches tall. And the twirler coaster is 58 inches minimum tall. We're going to write an inequality for these 3 height requirements. Use H for the unknown height. Okay, so let's take a look. If the height bounce is between 55 and 72, we will have to mark on our number line 55 and 72, and then we're going to make sure they're in between. We're not going to include 55 or 72. They're in between. So we want open circles, and open circles are going to say we're not going to include those, but everything in between we're going to include. The Climathon is under 60 inches tall. So 60 inches on the number line somewhere here. Okay. Under 60 inches. We can't include 60 because we have to be under 59, 58. Anything underneath will work, but 60 inches will not. Okay, the last one, the Twirlathon, 58 inches minimum. So here's 58 inches. And minimum, we're going to include that one because you could be 58 inches or taller? And taller is to the right. So that's how we'd put those on the number line. Han's cousin is 55 inches tall. Han doesn't think she is tall enough to ride the high bounce, but Kieran believes she is tall enough. Do you agree with Han or Kieran? Be prepared to explain your reasoning. So let's pause right here and I want you to think, which one do you agree with, Han or Kieran? All right, so let's take a look at Han, 55 inches tall. Well, could she ride the high bounce? Is she between 55 and 72? Well, she's right at 55, and we don't include 55 on that. So we should agree with Han. Han says she's not tall enough to ride it. She's not over 55. She's right at 55. All right, so Priya can ride the Climathon, but she can't ride the high bounce or the twirler coaster. Which, if any, could be following? So, excuse me. Which, if any, of the following could be Priya's height? Be prepared to explain your reasoning. So let's look. Could she be 59 inches tall? Okay, so she can ride the Climathon, and over here on the right, where you see the high bounce, here's the Climathon, the second one. Well, 59 inches. Okay, yes, she really could. She could ride the Climathon, but she can't ride the high bounce. So the high bounce is between 55 and 72. So she couldn't be 59 inches because then she could ride the high bounce. So let's cross that one off. The 53 inches, could she be 53 inches? Well, she can ride the Climathon, and that is below 60. Yep, that could be her. And then she couldn't ride the high bounce. That's true. And the twirler coaster, she's got to be greater than 58 inches, and she's not. So that is a good answer. She could be 53 inches tall. 56 inches tall? Nope, because she can't ride the high bounce. Let's talk about the Climathon. She's got to be under 56 inches. But the high bounce right here between 55 and 72, so she could not ride the high bounce. So that one's out also. Well, Jade is 56 inches tall. Which rides can she go on? Okay, pause the video and think. Which ones can she ride? Okay, so Jada, can she ride the high bounce at 56 inches tall? She could. It's in between 55 and 72. Could she ride the Climathon? Well, she's 56 inches, and that is under or less than 60 inches. So, yep, she could ride that. The twirler coaster, she's just not tall enough. She needs to be 58 inches or taller, and that won't work. Kieran is 60 inches tall. He can go on the high bounce because that's in between 55 and 72. 60 is right in the middle. The Climathon, no. He can't go on the Climathon because he has to be less than 60, and he's right at 60. But he can go on the twirler coaster because he is taller than 58 inches. So here are the inequalities. H is less than 75, and H is also greater than 64. Represent height restrictions in inches of another ride. Write 3 values that are solutions. Well, if H is less than 75, we're not going to include 75. And H is also greater than 64, and we're not going to include 64. It has to be in between these two numbers. So we can have H is 65. We could have H is 70. We could also have H is 71. Any of those are solutions to these inequalities because they work and they're true. Let's talk about it. What does it mean for a solution to be an inequality? Well, it's got to work. It's got to be true. What are some ways to find solutions to inequality? We can write them out. We can use the number lines to help solve, to actually see if the solutions will work. How many solutions are there to an inequality for the high bounce? Well, the high bounce is all the way between 55 and 72. And if you count all those numbers, 56 all the way up to 71, there are 15 solutions. How many possible heights are that allowed? 15 heights. What do you think about open circles and closed circles? Well, the closed circles are the ones that include. They're included or inclusive. Okay, like the Twirlo coaster is 58 inches or taller, 58 inches minimum, we include it. Open circles, not included. That's the limit. Okay, so do not include it in the answer. It's not a solution. Basketball games. Okay, Noah scored n points in a basketball game. What does 15 is less than n mean in the context of the basketball game? It means that Noah scored more than 15 points in the basketball game. If you have a hard time seeing that, flip the solution around so that the variable's on the left, and you'll have n is greater than 15, and then you can see, oh, his score is more than 15, but it does not include 15. He scored more than 15. What does n is less than 25 mean? It means that Noah scored less than 25 points in the basketball game. So here's we're going to draw two number lines, and we're going to draw the solutions to those inequalities. So if he scored more than 15, we're not going to include 15. We're going to leave it open, and we're going to draw all of our numbers to the right. So he could score way many more points than 15. The second one, we have n is less than 25. If it's less than 25, we don't include 25, and we're going to go all the way down to 0. And we're going to 0 because we're talking basketball here. And in basketball games, we can also include 0 because he could score no points at all. So we're going to leave a closed circle. So in basketball, we're not going to have negative scores. We're just not. So he can score anywhere from 0 up to 25, okay, because he scored less than 25. Name a possible solution for n that is a solution for both inequalities. Well, how about n right in the middle is 20? That would work. It would work for the first one, scoring over 15 or less than 25. Name a possible solution for n that is a solution for n is less than 15, but is not a solution for n is 25. Let's pause for a minute and take a look which one would actually work. Well, how about, let's see, n is greater than 15, maybe something over here, like n is 26, because it's not a solution. Something that's less than 25 wouldn't work. Well, how about number 6? Can negative 8 be a solution to n in this context? And we're playing basketball here. Could it be a solution? No, it could not. We're playing basketball, so no negative points in a basketball game, so it would not be a solution in this situation. Let's talk about some unbalanced hangers. Here's a diagram of an unbalanced hanger. Jada says the weight of one circle is greater than the weight of one pentagon. We're going to write an inequality to express her statement. Let P be the weight of one pentagon and C be the weight of one circle. So let's say that P is less than C. The pentagon is less than C. C is heavier. So if we have the circle weigh 12 ounces and we put that on the circle, use this information to write an inequality to represent the relationship of the weights. Then describe what this inequality means in this context. All right, well, we said that P is less than C, and now we know that the circle is 12, so we have P is less than 12. So let's think of a number that is less than 12. We could say 7 is less than 12. So the solution would be P is 7. We could also have another number that is less than 12, like 10. We could say 10 is less than 12. So P is 10. So that's a solution. So if we want to draw this on a number line, it would have to be a number that is less than 12, but we're not going to include 12 because then it would be a balanced hanger, and we want an unbalanced hanger. Here's another solution to the diagram of the unbalanced hanger. Write an inequality to represent the relationship of the weights. Let P be the one of one pentagon and S be the one of one square. And S, the square, is less than the pentagon. One pentagon weighs 8 ounces. Well, here's the 8 ounces on the pentagon. We're going to use this information to write another inequality to represent the relationship. So anything that's less than 8, we're not going to include 8 because that's going to be a balanced hanger, and we've got unbalanced hangers. So anything that's less than 8, open circle, and anything to the left of 8.